Tonight on KGW News, feeling stressed and overworked, Portland teachers ask for a major change.
People are working harder than they ever have.
Their proposal to reduce the amount of time kids spend in classrooms. Plus, digital vaccine cards. Oregon's plan to make it easier to show proof you've been vaccinated. And later, king tides return to the Oregon coast. Why researchers want to see your pictures of the crashing waves. Your news starts now. Thank you for joining us. First tonight, Oregon's governor has called a special legislative session to keep renters from getting evicted from their homes this winter. Our Catherine Cook is in the newsroom with more on what this means for renters waiting for assistance. Catherine?
Well, Laurel, Governor Brown says federal money will be nearly gone by tomorrow. She wants lawmakers to work on new ways to protect renters using state money. She also wants to extend renters' protections against eviction.
On December 13th, Oregon lawmakers will hold a special session to prevent winter evictions. According to the state's online dashboard, Oregon has given out nearly $150 million in rental assistance out of the $298 million it has on hand. But with so many applicants, the money is going fast. In a statement Tuesday, Oregon Governor Kate Brown warned, our federal funds for rental assistance will be nearly spent on December 1st. I am continuing to work with federal officials at the U.S. Treasury and the White House to secure additional federal emergency rental assistance funding in Oregon. As new applications pile up, many approved applicants are still waiting for funding.
I've been a church musician for a long time.
Musanda Mwango has been waiting since June. The father of three lost his job at a church due to COVID restrictions. Housing advocates say there are thousands of families like his which stand to be helped through this special session. One goal, extending the safe harbor law passed earlier this year. It protects anyone who's applied for rental assistance from getting evicted for the next 60 days while they wait for their money.
So there are 10,500 Oregon families and individuals, low-income families and individuals across the state that are at imminent risk of eviction and displacement because we have not been able to process applications quickly enough.
To catch up on applications, the state of Oregon is pausing the rent assistance process for 6 weeks starting December 1st. That's also an important day in Clark County, Washington. Starting at 6 p.m. on December 1st, up to 400 applications will be accepted for federal eviction rental assistance through Clark County Community Partners. Tenants can apply online, by phone, or in person at the Fromhold Center in Vancouver. The county has been opening up applications every 2 weeks to help service providers get through them, distribute rental assistance, and be ready for more.
Every single time, all the available applications have filled up within an hour.
Michael Torres is program manager for Clark County Community Services. Since August 2020, he says nearly 4,000 households in Clark County have received nearly $31 million in rent and utility assistance. That's close to $8,000 per applicant. He says the average turnaround from application to payment is 70 to 90 days.
Households really are in crisis. That crisis is real. The urgency to receive the assistance is real. And what has centered all our planning, all our thoughts, all our action is how can we get more assistance out to as many people as possible in as short amount of time as possible.
As part of her framework to prevent more evictions, Governor Brown also wants to ensure that landlords are paid in full for the rent they're owed. The president of the Portland Area Rental Owners Association tells us that without compensation, like rent from tenants or assistance from the government, many landlords will face difficult financial choices too. Laurel.
Thank you, Catherine. Tonight, the Portland Police Bureau is pleading with drivers to slow down while asking pedestrians to be extra careful. That's because there have been 62 deadly crashes on Portland roadways this year. That's the highest in 3 decades. Of those 62 people killed, 26 of them have been pedestrians. That's the most in 4 decades. A sergeant in the Portland Police Bureau's traffic division says speeding and a lack of police resources are to blame for the record-setting statistics.
At the beginning of 2021, staffing levels in the Portland Police Bureau were so low that they had to dismantle almost the entire traffic division. So I am the only full-time motor unit in the entire Portland Police Bureau.
Sergeant Ty Engstrom says these deadly crashes are often avoidable. That's why it's so important for drivers and pedestrians alike to exercise caution. Health officials say it's just a matter of time until the Omicron variant reaches the U.S., and they say you should take precautions right now. The variant has been detected in 20 countries so far. There aren't currently any cases in the U.S., but experts expect that to change soon. The CDC is now recommending everyone 18 and older who got vaccinated at least 6 months ago get a booster shot. Experts say it will take about 2 weeks to know just how severe the Omicron variant is and how effective the current vaccines are. If needed, new vaccines could be ready, they say, in about 3 months. Oregon is developing a new digital vaccine card, giving people a tool to prove they're vaccinated. State officials say it will be optional and handy for those who don't have a doctor. Pat Doris has the details on how it will work.
Right now in Oregon, no state law or rule requires proof of a COVID vaccination before you enter a restaurant or other businesses. But those businesses are free to create their own rules, and many have. Jason Brandt is president and CEO of the Oregon Restaurant and Lodging Association. Are a lot of restaurants and businesses requiring it for people to come in?
It's quite a mixed bag out there.
Want to attend a Blazers game or a concert at the Motor Center? You'll have to prove vaccination or a recent negative test. The publication Eater recently listed more than 100 bars and restaurants where proof is also required, which may be one reason the Oregon Health Authority is creating a digital vaccine card and corresponding verification system, which will be voluntary and free for anyone in the state. The OHA's Public Health Director, Rachel Banks, showed lawmakers samples at a recent hearing.
What we'd have is a user who would request to get their vaccine records using things like name, date of birth, telephone number, email.
A person would be sent a smart health card. That's the image there in the middle of the screen. It would have a QR code that would hold information about the vaccination status. They could then show that to a business, and the business person would have a way to verify that it was accurate. Banks expects it to be out this spring.
Our overall will clearly work through the new year in terms of continuing that testing and communications, and intend to launch in March.
A similar system is already available in Washington state, where King County does require proof of vaccination to dine indoor or attend sporting events and other activities. Mary Carrillo with the American Immunization Registry Association told Oregon lawmakers that 9 states now offer smart cards, and 20 more, including Oregon, have projects in the works.
And really the goal is to create one consolidated record for every individual within a jurisdiction.
The idea is not unique. Apple has a way to store your vaccine information on your phone, and a lot of us simply have pictures of our vaccination cards there as well. Brandt from the Restaurant Association wonders if it's really a waste of time and money.
It really feels to me, especially when you go to large events and the cell towers are overloaded with activity, I'm not sure that anything other than a photo on your phone, which so many of us already have, is really necessary to fully verify your vaccine status.
That was Pat Doris reporting. As the pandemic continues, local teachers have continued to tell us this school year has been very challenging. Now, the Portland Association of Teachers is negotiating with the district on working conditions, and it could mean a big change for students. Christine Pitawanich reports.
Teachers I've spoken to say they're overwhelmed, and so are their students, stressed out by the workload, expectations, and of course, the pandemic. That's why teachers say they need more time to deal with the increased need in classrooms.
A number of health-related organizations are ringing the warning bell that we are in a mental health crisis for young people.
On Monday, representatives with the Portland Association of Teachers gave the district its proposals.
So our proposals are designed to try and provide a capacity for everyone to give the maximum amount of service to students and also provide the best, the safest and best environment for students.
Among many things, proposals included limiting staff meetings and shifting teacher evaluations. But what seemed to be a potential sticking point, cutting one school day a week short by 2 hours for elementary and middle school students. And at the high school level, shifting in-person school to online learning once a week.
People are working harder than they ever have, and they're still not able to do this because of the huge level of need across the district in so many different places.
Our students are displaying unprecedented levels of stress.
We are in complete agreement that this has been a tough couple of years for our teachers, students.
Dr. Sean Bird is the Deputy Superintendent of Instruction and School Communities at Portland Public Schools.
And we really want to address the concerns that our teachers have. But they presented some proposals yesterday that would have included modifying the school calendar and reducing instructional days. And that's just a proposal that the district cannot support.
Bird says at the elementary and middle school levels, the proposal would result in about 10 days of lost instructional time. And at the high school level, 20 days less of in-person instruction.
Yes, there will be a conversion of in-person student days to other types of education for parts of the day, but they do count. Asynchronous do count as education.
We also agree that teachers need time to plan and they need time to address some of the school climate and culture issues. So we're looking at ways to creatively solve that problem without reducing time for students in school.
The groups will continue to meet and are hopeful there will be an agreement before winter break in a couple weeks. Changes would kick in after winter break for the remainder of the school year. Christine Pitawanich, KGW News.